Hello, this is Gilles. I wanted to come and say hello. Wish you a good day. I don't want to lose the flow of making those communication. Like I made a couple of phone calls in between. I had to make a couple of phone calls in between those two videos, between the French and the English. I wanted to speak about the idea that God only knows, because there is so much that we do know, but there is so much more that we do not know, and it is very much in the philosophy of Spinoza, the exile of ignorance, to become. For all that you know is fine, but for anything that we do not know, we can put it in the hands of God, in the trust that all that is will inform us when it is the time for us to know something. What I teach here is the law of one. The law of one is essentially four great principles. The principle of inclusion. We are included eternally within life, and we will always exist in one form or another. The second principle is the law of one. All is one and one is all. Everything is made of the divine, and we all one with the divine. Eternally, that can never, those two roles never change. The third law is the law of cause and effect. What we do, whatever we produce will be reflected back to us. Whatever we give, we will harvest. And the fourth law, the fourth principle, is that everything is in eternal shift except the three laws, or except God, that does not change. And this law of one is actually a scientific principle that will lead us back to the source, back to the Godheads, eventually. And it is the ultimate outcome of all religion. All religion have to return to the one, has to return to God, has to return to the source of all life. And so it's it is understanding that oneness is infinity. There is no separation within infinity, and the more so integrating this oneness is a process. We have to work with our inner dreams and vision, so it becomes eventually our dominant reality. It becomes more important than anything that could be reflected in the physical. I also wanted to speak about some philosophy. I'm going to pull a few cards first. It's a very traditional deck of cards, of tarot, but it's still erotic or romantic. And so it's a Venetian deck. So the past is the wheel of fortune, the wheel of great time. That's everything has been, and now we are moving to the state of wealth. It's abundance, it's wealth. It's a wonderful situation that is before us, that will be comforted by more success in the future. It's the Ace of Pentacles. It's inner and outer success. Right now, what we're working on is to heal the wounds of the past, is to heal sorrow, and for that there may still be some interference. Our wheel may not be all the way straight. We may allow ourselves to be distracted, but eventually the lovers will come, and everything will come back into alignment. And the outcome is the Queen of Chalice. It's of chalices, and she's the feminine aspect of femininity is the ability to express our emotion, to feel good about expressing our emotion, to be able to enjoy the emotional world. Well, I hope this resonated with you. I wanted to talk about philosophy. There was a great philosopher in the 6th century BC. His name was Sun Tzu in China, and he wrote a great book. It's a strategic book, like Machiavelli. So it's called The Art of War. It is kind of brutal because of the times they were living on, but there is this one concept that is fear is the only enemy. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. And this is so essential to the path of ascension, because we're all talking in this world, like the mind is busy with these viruses, and we're not going to talk about it. We want to discharge the people will continue to think about it, but we want to discharge all the fear from the people as much as possible to reassure them that this is just a mental thing. It will not create an extension of the human race or anything like pandemic. But it's been really sold in the media as something that's more and more. So it's about returning to this inner light where we feel like we're connected and free. We are no longer afraid of any of those things. I want to comment about something I saw on Instagram, a photo of a painting that someone did. It was two women sitting on a couch. They were drinking whiskey by the bottle. And one of them had a t-shirt painted "Make Orwell Fiction Again." I thought that was really funny to make Orwell fiction again, because we moved in a world that, for those who know this book, 1984, in 1948, George Orwell realized that humanity had everything in its hand to become a paradise for all. But there was also the possibility that, because they were not quite aware, that some people would distract them and move them into this nightmare situation where, of 1984. There is a great deal of information within this book. And also the Prince of Machiavelli is also a very, very intelligent political strategist for all that are interested in administration, in administration of power and energy. Those books are essential. They are philosophical books. For philosophy, it's the search of wisdom, and that account to living a good life, to have a good life. That's the whole point of philosophy. And I was looking for something on the internet, and I saw this French philosopher that's completely different from me because he's a complete atheist, but he's very popular and very famous here. And it was this little video where he was talking that Kant is all about theory and Epicure is all about practice. And then he came into speaking about philosophy. I don't really know, but it's quite an interesting idea. Is Schopenhauer. I don't really know his work. I've looked in it, but I will maybe investigate more later on. His idea is that he was teaching a philosophy, but he was completely incapable of being the example of that philosophy. And he said, I don't have to be the model of what I'm teaching. I just have to teach it. Then even if I cannot achieve the high stake, the high ideals I'm proposing, it is still valuable, even if I do not are fully aligned with my own teachings. Well, it is the difference between the philosopher and the ascended master. For the ascended master is aligned with all his teaching, and that is really what's coming about. For we are in a world that's like over-consuming. So we have to be. It's not about stopping to consume. For I love consuming. I'm very enthusiastic when I consumer. But it's about being more conscious in how we consume and more appreciation and gratitude. And so, in order to be, we always fight looking for a balance. Well, thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and to join this movement, this higher grade of energy. To always use your psyche to connect with the higher energy that's above your head. There is this whole universe of light that is waiting for the chakras to open, to come down into our body and to integrate that. So I'm going to pull one more card. The paintings behind me, this is a painting about, there is a ladder, and it's with all the symbols of the chakras, and then there is a tree which says Earth and Heaven and 001000101110. So it is the connection between heaven and earth, called As Above, So Below. And this is a painting about the number 2 on that series of the 150 most important planets of our solar system. So I finished with a song. It's an old song. It came to my mind, so I sang it, and I'm gonna pull one more card. It goes like this: You're just too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. Oh, I wanna hold you so much. As long as love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you. Pardon the way that I stare. There's nothing else to compare. The sight of you leaves me weak. There are no words left to speak. But if you feel like I feel, please let me know that it's real. You're just too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to warm my lonely night. I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say, whoa, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay and let me love you, baby. Let me love you. You're just too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you. You'd be like heaven to touch. Oh, I wanna hold you so much. As long as love has arrived, And I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you. I love you, baby, and if it's quite alright, I need you, baby, to all my lonely night. I love you, baby. Trust in me when I say, oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay and let me love you, baby, let me love you. So the name of the song, I'm not really sure who sang that. That's from the Supreme or something like that. It's things from the 50s, 1950s. The card of the day is chaos and conflict. So it's about realizing that right before the order comes, there has to be certain chaos and conflict. And so it's about being ready not to always, never push conflict to a bitter end. That's very first lesson about conflicts and about the chaos. Let it pass and just prepare yourself for the alignment, for the order, for the grace that you're wishing to receive. I know it is all there. It is all we're all receiving amazing energy and the great potential right now. All of humanity is been bathed within this great light, and so enjoy it. Well, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Namaste.